Let's also recite a bit from the life of Guru Padmasambhava. Guru Padmasambhava realized that although through contemplation and analysis he had gained great power, this power had caused him to deviate from the path of practicing the true nature of reality. So he went to Magadha in central India. At that time, King Dharmapala had been ruling for many years. In fact, in Indian history, there are quite a few stories about Dharmapala. In Taranatha's History of Buddhism in India, you can see references to the Dharmapala dynasty. In Gendun Chopel's Travels in India, Dharmapala is also mentioned. But the Dharmapala he mentioned is actually the later one. Before this, there was a British person who made significant contributions. I mentioned this before in recollection of the time gone by, a dreamy pilgrimage with my guru 30 years ago. So many people dare not write about this person and don't mention it. Actually, for Buddhists, that person's contribution was even greater than Master Dharmapala's. Dharmapala means Dharma protector, Last year, when choosing a name for the new hotel at Larungar, we said not to make it too obvious with certain words, so we called it Dharmapala, Dharma protector. When translated, it comes out like this. Didn't we drink milk tea yesterday? It came from Dharmapala Hotel at Larungar. The person in charge felt very embarrassed, kept going like this. Why? Acharya Buddhajana, after attaining accomplishment, only then began training disciples. The Indian Acharya Buddhajana. Then Guru Padmasambhava came to the place where Acharya Buddhajana was, called Dharma Bodhi Monastery. Among the Mahasamgika Sangha, with Acharya Buddhajana as his preceptor, he took ordination and received the complete precepts. Before a preceptor who maintained the discipline, Guru Padmasambhava received the 100,000 sections of the Vinaya in one sitting and fully mastered their meaning. Earlier, Guru Padmasambhava first studied logic, the arts and crafts, and poetics, all 18 branches of knowledge. He also studied the Abhidharma Kosha. He also studied, was it above or below? The Prajaparamita should be below, right? So Guru Padmasambhava also, in his manifestation, during his learning process, studied all worldly knowledge as well as the 5 Great Treatises. The so-called 5 Great Treatises we have now, Guru Padmasambhava had already studied them himself long ago, so the Nyingma tradition is not without the 5 Great Treatises. This can also be seen in Guru Padmasambhava's biography. Guru Padmasambhava himself studied them all, because the Prajnaparamita mentioned below regarding Prajnaparamita, Madhyamaka, and the Abhisamaya Lamkara should be included in Prajnaparamita, right? One explains the hidden meaning, the other the explicit meaning. In this way, I see that logic was studied, the Vinaya was studied, the Abhidharma Kosha was studied, Prajnaparamita was studied, Madhyamaka was studied, and earlier there was grammar, including poetics, arts and crafts, and dramatics. All these should have been studied. Aren't there 18 branches of knowledge in India? He studied them all and fully mastered their meanings. Also, before Acharya Buddhajana, he received the Prajnaparamita teachings. You see, he received the Prajnaparamita teachings. I think within the Prajnaparamita teachings, there should be both Abhisamaya and Madhyamaka, right? If this is not accepted, then I'll debate it too. He attained a view equal to space itself, you see. He was like this. But studying the exoteric teachings alone is not enough. One must also study the esoteric teachings. You need to understand this. Otherwise, even if you've graduated from the exoteric teachings, not graduating from the esoteric teachings won't work. Guru Padmasambhava was not satisfied either. There, all the other disciples had to go through great difficulties to receive empowerments. Guru Padmasambhava, without any effort at all, completely received all the empowerments. He also received from a disciple of Acharya Buddhajana, the Venerable Guhya Vajra, the empowerment and pith instructions of Yoga Tantra. Then before Acharya Buddhajana, he also received the inner 5 sections, which should be the highest Yoga Tantras, the Guhya Samaja, the Mayajala, the Kandra Guhya Tilaka Tantra, as well as the Buddha Samayoga Tantra and the Karma Malika Tantra and so on, all the secret tantras and pith instructions. He truly recognized the wisdom of empowerment. At that time, what the empowerment pointed to, this inexpressible wisdom, through this, he attained the profound realization of non-duality. He touched the true nature. In fact, Guru Padmasambhava, truly under the guidance of Guhya Vajra and Acharya Buddhajana, also attained the highest supreme state. Guru Padmasambhava is not, as in our legends, someone who appeared as a naturally enlightened Buddha. It's not like that. When I first read Taranatha's biography, I really thought this is very suitable for modern people, because regarding Guru Padmasambhava, some of us may have various praises. There are different kinds of praise, and some people indeed, now that so much time has passed, there are also different accounts. So this is still very important. This is about a person who progressively studied the Five Great Treatises and then studied Kriya Tantra and Charya Tantra, or you could say all the teachings of Yoga Tantra and highest Yoga Tantra. Now, there's something mentioned here regarding Guru Padmasambhava, generally speaking, among the lineage masters. His teacher was Simha. Simha was Han Chinese. There is such a history, but truly reliable information about his place is now found by very few people. At that time in Buddhist histories, he was also not found. But I think this may be because Taranatha relied on Indian accounts at that time. Actually, the two most accomplished Panditas who had not been to India were Situ Panchen, Situ Pandita, and Taranatha. If these two had actually gone to India, in reliable historical records it seems they did not. But in some legends there are accounts. But this may not necessarily be reliable. These two were the most accomplished regarding Indian matters, including being very skilled in Sanskrit. But even so, perhaps in Indian legends, they still did not know that Simha was Guru Padmasambhava's teacher. But Simha was indeed very remarkable. In Chokyo Lingpa's Terma Treasures, there is a biography of Guru Padmasambhava. Doesn't he have 3 Dzogchen texts? It should be Jamyang Khyentse Wangpo, Kongtrul Yonten Gyatso, the 3 of them together. There was also someone who served as Jamyang Khyentse Wangpo's secretary, such a person. In the history I just mentioned, once King Trisong Detsen, at that time Guru Padmasambhava seemed to be away, having gone to a frontier region to liberate beings. King Trisong Detsen at that time, during the New Year when many people gathered, heard Master Guya Vajra say that Guru Padmasambhava had an extraordinarily remarkable Dzogchen teacher, but regarding this Dzogchen teacher, receiving his teachings would be best. If one could obtain his biography, it would be most supreme. Even just hearing his name, one would not fall into the 3 lower realms. We should ask Guru Padmasambhava, what is the name of this teacher he cannot reveal? At that time they discussed this. Later, when Guru Padmasambhava returned, they made a request before him. When they made the request, they said once they invited him to Yalung Crystal Cave. When they made the request there, at that time King Trisong Detsen also requested Guru Padmasambhava, asking if he could grant them the name of his greatly kind teacher, his remarkable Dzogchen teacher. At that time he made this request. When he made this request, at that time there was no response. When King Trisong Detsen made this request, he did not tell him. Later, at a place called Changdropa, there Trisong Detsen also made a request, a second request, but he still did not reveal his teacher's name. The third time, when they invited him to the royal palace, they requested Guru Padmasambhava to tell them who exactly his Dzogchen teacher was. Then Guru Padmasambhava said, I won't tell. If I tell, the entire snowy land of the Tibetan region might shake and tremble unsteadily. He still did not say. Then the 4th time at Samye Translation Continent, when Vimalamitra and Guru Padmasambhava were together, he made the request once again, asking for the name of Guru Padmasambhava's teacher. At that time, Vimalamitra clearly knew and looked at Guru Padmasambhava. But if Guru Padmasambhava did not speak, he would not say either. The final time, once he was staying on the 2nd floor of Samye in the spontaneous accomplishment hall, then one day he asked those by his side, it should have been Nanam Dorje Dujom and also Shekar Sang Dorje Tso, right? Together they brought everyone to Samye Chimphu. Guru Padmasambhava asked all the people to gather here. Then he began to speak. Day and night you have constantly been requesting me to reveal my teacher's name. Today I can fulfill your wish. So my teacher, incomparable, whose name when spoken is hard to imagine, of incomparable great kindness, an emanation of fearless Heruka, is Master Jñānasūtra. He revealed his teacher's name in this way. At that time, all kinds of things appeared. The entire sky was filled with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Various auspicious signs appeared in the sky, and the earth also shook. At that time, they also beheld various different visions, including Guru Padmasambhava appearing in 360 emanations, or the 360 emanations may have been earlier. At that time, Guru Padmasambhava manifested in this way, it was said, such phenomena and so on. At this time, many people were truly able to recognize the innate wisdom that is the original face of their own minds. At that time, they requested Guru Padmasambhava to teach once more the profound pith instructions of Sri Simha. Right then, he did not teach. Later, when they returned to Samye with Trisong Detsen, Vairocana, at that time Yeshe Tsogyal was also there, it seems, and also Namkhai Nyingpo, the Vajra conqueror of demons, and others among this retinue, he transmitted the sutra section, the practice section, and the pith instruction section, as well as the most secret and profound teachings of the heart essence. There seems to be such a history. I'll also take a look at it when I have time. What we've discussed here is that if one obtains the name of Guru Padmasambhava's teacher, just as in the time of the Buddha, many people right then recognized the nature of their minds. So how much more so regarding the profound pith instructions of Sri Simha that Guru Padmasambhava truly transmitted in person. Needless to say, they are extremely supreme, so all of us here should, on the one hand, gain understanding of all aspects of Guru Padmasambhava, and at the same time, we ourselves should pray often. This is very important. Let's stop here for today.
Bandara Padma Sadar